Professor David. Okay, we'll start off again with you. We were telling wala ka pa kanina, but sabi namin the last time you were here, wala sila, Professor Rai. Everything seemed much, much better. Mas masaya kami after speaking to you. Ngayon nandyan sila. I mean, what are you seeing sa numbers nyo? Ano ba tayo ngayon? Positive,
Yes.
optimistic, hopeful?
Kasalanan niyo, in-invite niya si Professor Rai. So, nawala na yung pagka-positive natin. So, nakakawa yung ano. But we'll be, we're always reporting transparency. So, right now, NCR is still holding up. The reproduction number is still less than 1. There's a slight uptick in numbers. But we're seeing a lot of emerging new hotspots ngayon, especially sa Calabarzon and sa Central Luzon. So, Calabarzon, we're seeing it in Cavite, Rizal, Batangas, particularly. And then sa Central Luzon, we're seeing it in Bulacan, and of course, to lesser magnitude, Bataan, Zambales, even Tarlac, Nueva Ecija. And then up north, we're also seeing it in many provinces up north: Pangasinan, La Union, Isabela, Cagayan. So actually, there's a lot. Although, yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We can hear you. Nag-ano siya.
May noise kasi. Father, let me turn. Hello, Father. Father,
Yes.
let me turn to you. Let me turn to you. Ano pong, what is your reading of the numbers that's being shared by Professor Dr. David? And a basic question: these numbers now factor in the GCQ that was our return to GCQ?
So yes. So as my colleague Professor Guido pointed out, the most significant findings, of course, is that the R numbers are still below 1. And this is, we're maintaining the inertia, the momentum coming out of the MECQ. And you can see that despite the large caseload today of 4,000 plus, as I think your previous guest pointed out, this is over many weeks, many months. And if you look at the curves are still dropping for the country and for the NCR. However, as Professor Guido pointed out, adjacent regions to the NCR are witnessing surges. And one of the things that you realize is that each of these regions will affect the NCR because people are moving back and forth. So we have to be very, very careful. The LGUs of these respective regions have to double their efforts to make sure those numbers go down. Otherwise, what you will see is an overflow of the pandemic from these regions, Calabarzon, Central Luzon. They will, over time, they will leak into NCR, and then we will have another issue with surging. So we are basically saying that things are good, but we have to be particularly careful with these hotspots to make sure that they not leak back into Metro Manila.
How significant were the surges, and have you been able to pinpoint exactly the reason for the surges? Is it because of the GCQ, or was it something else?
The surges are actually significant. It's to the level of number of new cases per day has doubled over 1 week in many provinces. Sometimes they increase by 50%. In some cases, they nearly doubled, and that is significant. Although these are on a smaller scale, like for example, in Pangasinan, we might be talking about 20 cases per day. So maybe this is something that can still be managed. Pero in provinces like Rizal and Cavite, the caseload is already high. They're averaging more than 100 cases per day. So this is now significant, and it can pose a real challenge to the way we're dealing with this pandemic. And we haven't yet pinpointed what the source of this surge is, but I haven't kept track with Calabarzon. I know some provinces are still in GCQs. So
this
I'm not
has
sure
nothing
if,
to do with reporting, because the Department of Health has said that we should expect an irregularly high number in the coming days. They said this last Friday. So this has nothing to do with the recording. These are new cases, in effect. That's what you're saying.
well, I mean, we're seeing also the trend in positive tests. So the surge is actually, I mean, we think it's real. I mean, there's also an associated increase in positivity rate, although the positivity rate increase is slight. But we think I mean, at least it's an uptick. But the number of new cases, doubling in some provinces. This is significant. So we don't see it as just being an uptick. In some provinces, it could be an uptick. In NCR, there was a slight increase. So, but overall, as Father says, it's still decreasing. So NCR is still okay right now. But if there is a surge in the nearby provinces, as Professor Ranjit and Professor Father Nick has mentioned, then it could affect the pandemic in NCR.